Greetings, everyone. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. Let me know if you can hear me. Lennon is late because he is properly getting properly high. But no, this is going to be a very, very quick live stream. Very quick. I wasn't planning on live streaming. Can y'all hear me? First of all, let me know if you guys can hear me before I keep going here. It should be working. We'll get back to our regular scheduled programming tomorrow. I just figured I'm out of school. I have time, so I might as well get on here every once in a while. We can just chop it up real quick. I hope you guys have had a wonderful Friday. I hope you had a wonderful and productive week. I had a productive week. Looking forward to this weekend. Again, I don't have any homework or anything, so I got to figure out what I'm going to be doing. I've been working on a sci-fi documentary, and I also been working on some music. I'll be sharing that with y'all at some point. How's it going, Cletus? Thanks for being here. Brian is in the building. What's up, Brian? Thanks for being here. We working. What's up, Vince? Look at those Marcus Garvey trash. Oh, stop it. Stop it. You guys be nice. All right. Thanks, Peter. And Hassa, thanks for being here as well. You guys are Peter Hunter. Look at it. All right. Breaking news. The FMG Rock just announced all right. Okay. All right, Malika, you guys, come on. We'll get back to the regular scheduled programming tomorrow. Bosco Black has become a member. I uploaded like 6 videos for members over this last week. I didn't mean to do that much, but I'll have some more stuff up for people coming up here shortly. Membership is doing well and growing. So if you guys are interested in becoming a member, there's a join button listed down below. If you have any questions too while I'm up here, I ain't gonna be here that long. I'm just getting ready for tomorrow. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask inside the chat room, and I'll answer what I can. Ain't no plywood in my hood. Look at okay, you guys. How's it going, QTZ? Thanks for being here. Chris is in the building as well. 100% real man. Thank you for being here as well. Like the hat as always. Zero Cake's on deck, of course. Happy Friday evening. Thank you, Texas Diva. How's it going, Black Anonymous? Thanks for being here. Okay, just give us some shout outs real quick. Okay, audio is good. Okay, cool. Nubian Khaleesi is here. Thank you so much. Weekend warrior. Yeah, I got matching pants too. How's it going, Amira? Thanks for being here. The Spikes Pijol is here as well. Indeed, that is all. I got your email too. I just haven't had time to read. I mean, I had time. I just haven't gotten around to do it. I meant to do it this morning before I left. I'll do it between tomorrow and tonight and tomorrow morning. Okay, I got you. All right. There's a couple things I want to talk about real quick. Beautiful Benice says hello. Thank you so much for being here, Beautiful Benice. I appreciate it. Yafua says shalom. Shalom to you. Hassa's in the building. How's it going, Hassa? Thanks for being here. BBW, Big Beautiful Windows. All right. Y'all crazy. Angelina says, hey, how's it going, Angelina? Thanks for being here. Bobby's in the building as well. Okay, there's a couple things I want to talk about, and it's not what you guys are used to, but I figure I got some more time these days. So every once in a while, I'll jump on here for 10 minutes and just chat with y'all real quick. Expect Not is here as well. Thank you so much. And Cedra is here. Godzilla Princess. And Techie Demigod says we working. Okay, how's it going, Rosalind? My security plus test 3. Oh, all right. Are you saying you're taking it? It's coming up on the 15th? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Well, if it is, yeah, you're gonna be fine. You know, congratulations. Just keep doing your thing. I'm studying for the network plus first, and then I'm going to do security plus after that one. No, for real. Said we ain't gonna be here for a couple of minutes. I figured I'd get on here. I just went to the store and said, let me get on here real quick. Okay, there's a couple things I want to talk about real quick. Okay, and it's not what you guys are used to, but I want to do this real quick because I need to start kind of expanding content. I see this right here. It's funny because I had this from a long time ago, and the degree isn't even computer and cybersecurity. It's data and cybersecurity technology. And then it says my projected graduation date was 120. I already graduated. I had a 3.98 then, and I graduated 3.98. This is some old stuff I see up here. Okay, so first, and this is what I just did. I want to greet everybody real quick. I want to talk about the Lakers. If you guys are not in NBA, that's okay. Because Laker franchise is the most primitive franchise in NBA history, in my opinion. And LeBron went down recently with an injury. In my opinion, I don't think they're going to be making the playoffs. It's possible that they do. It's just unfortunate because of the string of injuries with the Los Angeles Lakers. They got a whole lot of new pieces, and they were actually looking pretty good, in my opinion. It's not a championship team, but I figure they're probably working with a 3-year plan to try to at least compete for a championship. It's not going to happen this year. Next year, probably get closer to it, but then by that 3rd year, I think they may be primed for another championship. If you guys are into sports, let me know what you think about that real quick. I want to get my top 5 NBA players of all time, and I'll go in reverse order. At number 5, I go with Magic Johnson. Okay, greatest point guard of all time. Multiple championships, revolutionized the game in a sense because he was larger, but he can handle the ball, a prolific passer, etc. Number two, at number 4, Wilt Chamberlain. If you guys look at his stats, they're like, NBA Live. I don't even think they have that game anymore. What is it? NBA 2K kind of. It's just crazy. His stats are absolutely crazy. That's who I have at number 4. At number 3, I have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think he's at this point, I think he's the most accomplished in terms of high school, college, and in the NBA. Okay, so I have him at 3. I got LeBron, of course, at number 2. All-time leading scorer. Statistically speaking, he's the greatest of all time. People can argue whether or not he is the greatest of all time. I don't give him that honor quite yet because that is reserved for Michael Jordan. Okay, and it's that's my guy. All right, so if you guys are in here, if you're into sports, NBA in particular, if you got a top 5, go ahead and type inside chat room. All right. Okay, let me get back in this chat room. What's up, Dominique? Thank you so much. I think I'm waiting for it. Did it update? Oh, it didn't update. There we go. Real quick, what? Vince Carter? No. Yeah. Okay. What's up, Big Philly? Thank you for being here. We're only gonna be here for a couple more minutes. Selection request, the body, show me. Okay. What? I don't have no song called the body, show me love. Okay. All right. Bring back the miss. We can do that. You guys want to do that? Let me know if you guys are interested. Hit the one, but I haven't done those in a long time. I'm sure he has a real big archive that I need to get to. But we can do that. I don't mind. I enjoy those. Peace and hot cookies. Y'all crazy. Okay. Yeah, Bron said he heard. Yeah, that's what he said, and there were people who were doubting that. But, if that's what he said, he heard it in the way that he went down. It looked like it was serious. And then they said he wasn't going to be too bad. But then today they said it's going to be weeks and they're going to reevaluate. Anytime they say reevaluation, that's a problem. Yeah, he's out. He's going to be out for some time. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They may, like really, really low seeding, playing type of a situation. But it's sad because they have some really quality pieces. They just can't seem to stay healthy, and consistently to where everyone's playing together. It's a serious problem, and it's been a problem for some time. I think that one of their strategies was Rob Pelinka was to try to get younger, and they did that. They got some really good pieces. I was actually surprised he was able to pull that off. It's just that the rest of the team, and in particular Anthony Davis, he tends to be, as we all know, he tends to be hurt. And then with LeBron going down, that's, you can't really come back for that. So we'll have to see. I'm a Laker fan, by the way. How's it going, Dre? Thanks for being here. I appreciate your presence. Let me scroll down here. Tonight's game. Yeah, they're going to be playing. I think they may be playing right now. After this live stream, I'm going to go and check them out. Yeah, you're all hit the like button. I appreciate it. Let me just check here real quick. I want to see if anyone put in their top 5s. What's up? I got you already. Okay. Quality says Aaron is always at the top of the mountain. Yeah, he is at this point. I think that if LeBron can pull off 2 more or 3 more years of the type of production that he's doing, that he's producing at this point, then I think that he's right there at the door. If he wins a championship and then let's say he wins the MVP for the championship, MVP, and he's doing the types of numbers that he's doing now at any point over these next 3 years, then he's right there. He really is. It's just Michael Jordan. It's an unfair standard. It's unrealistic. He goes to 6 championships and he wins all 6 MVPs, multiple scoring titles, of course. His defense. That's the one thing people don't think about with Jordan that they really should consider. He's the only NBA player who is the greatest defensive player and offensive player at his position. He's the only one. The only other person that someone could probably make an argument for is not Kareem. Who did I say earlier? Wilt Chamberlain. But that's very much debatable. But Jordan is the only player who in NBA history who is the greatest at his position offensively and defensively. And no one else even comes close, in my opinion. Okay. Okay, Michael Jordan, Kobe. You got Kobe at 2? Michael, Kobe, Wilt, Magic, and Bron, and you got Bron at 5, or maybe you don't have them in order, like because Kobe. I mean, it's arguable to put Kobe at 2, but Bron's body of work, in statistically speaking, no one's done what he's done. No one has done that, and he's still performing at a high clip at this age. So I wouldn't put Bron that low if you're putting Bron at 5. Okay, but we pretty much got the same people, except you got Kobe. Wait, didn't I have Kobe? Oh, I didn't have Kobe. I put Magic. I mean, I could have put Kobe in there. That would have worked. Yeah, that would have worked. Okay. And you didn't put Kareem. I'm surprised by that. I'm really surprised by that. Okay. Personally, I love the Magic Johnson and yeah. That's when I really got into the Lakers, was way back then. And then, of course, I became a Bulls fan once Michael Jordan came onto the scene. Let's see, Lenon, you have such a grasp of knowledge on many topics. You hit the nail on the head. The Lakers are building for the future. I think they are. I think they are. And I think that's why their plan with Russell Westbrook wasn't smart. He's eating up so much cap space. And long term, his athleticism isn't what it used to be. He's a liability on offense. It just doesn't work. Now, if they had traded for him, let's say 4 years ago or 5 years ago, then I can see that kind of working. But they're really planning for the future. I think they got a 2 to 3 year window that they're working with, and by that time, LeBron, he'll be on his way out. Then they're trying to put pieces. They really should have put these pieces together sooner. But the truth is, Delco, they shouldn't have had so much turnover from their most recent championship team. They kept turning over players and trading players and moving them. You can't. There's no stability, And let me one last point on this. Back in the day with LeBron, you can get away with that because he was frenetic. In other words, his energy level on the court and his dominance was such that you can pretty much put any kind of piece around him and let him do his thing, and he makes everyone better. He still makes everyone better, but he's not frenetic anymore. The energy level is not the same. A lot of people forget when LeBron came into the league, his athleticism was through the roof. Okay, it's still incredible, especially for his age, but you can't compare it to when he was jumping out. He was all over the place. It was incredible. People go and look at early LeBron. Even when he's with the Heat, he's still on that level. But these days, that's not the case. He's slower. He doesn't have the same level of athleticism, but comparatively speaking, he's still dominant, which is incredible. But the point is that after they won that championship, they kept turning over pieces, and you can't. It doesn't work that way. Especially, and then you got AD. He's out. You can't build a team like that. And then camaraderie and people really getting used to playing with each other. And so I think that was one of the big mistakes that the Lakers they've done over the last 3 or 4 years. Is there's a turnover is great. So I figure if they can hold the pieces that they have here together for the next 2 or 3 years, maybe add a couple here, but don't take away too much. I think they'll be in a good position to compete for a championship, but not this year for sure. Okay. I don't think LeBron. When you guys talking about LeBron's lying. Yeah, if you guys have it while we're here, if you have any questions for him about anything, go on and ask our chat room. MJ, Kareem, Kobe, LeBron, Magic. Yeah, I tend to think LeBron. I tend to go with LeBron higher than Kobe at this point. And one of the criticisms is that I have, and it's rest in peace, is that Kobe won 5 championships, but 3 of those was with Shaq. And if you guys are going to go and look at what Shaq was doing, not that Kobe didn't matter, but it was largely due to Shaq's dominance. Whereas LeBron, his championships, he's won 4, but he's been the preeminent person for those 4, right? And Kareem, I could argue Kareem at number 2. I can actually argue Kareem at number 1 too. I really could, but I always have MJ there because that's my guy. Okay, that's a good list, Vince. Okay. All right. Thank you for being here. 2 Live says, good evening. Good evening to you. What's happening, MJ? Okay, Dominic says Kobe, Magic, Kareem, Wilt. Work. Come on, stop playing. He was worthy. Yeah, okay. All right, that's fine. How's it going, Eddie? So I got a couple of other topics we're gonna be done. Lenon, it's Uma. Oh yeah, I remember now. I remember that. That was incredible. We haven't played that in a long time. Maybe we play that tomorrow. Okay. Do you like Steph Curry? Yeah, absolutely. I think if he continues on, and I know he's been injured, but if he continues with what he's doing, he's revolutionized the game. I can see him getting up there top 8, maybe top 7. The thing is, I don't think he's going to be winning another championship. I don't think that that team is going to, because they've just aged. They've aged out of competition like that. And if they ever get close, I think that he'll probably be a lot older and won't be as efficient and as dominant as he was in the past. But he's had a wonderful career. He really has. I think he can skip up there to top 8, maybe top 7 at some point, but he has a ways to go. He really does. That's the other thing with Steph. He's won these championships, but people forget that Durant, he came in and he won 2 of those, right? And he won the MVP, the Finals MVP for both. That's significant right there. All right. MJ, Magic, Kareem, Bird, and Rodman. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know why you putting Rodman. Now y'all tripping now. MJ, Isaiah Thomas, Duncan. I've always liked Hakeem. I think he's underrated, but I wouldn't put Isaiah up there. I definitely wouldn't do that. MJ, Kobe, LeBron, Steph, Shaq. I think Steph's too high at this point. Maybe later on down the line. I wouldn't put Shaq up there at 5 either. I wouldn't. I mean, you could argue it. I can see the argument, but I wouldn't even put Steph ahead of Shaq at this point. Not at this point. Maybe by the time he finishes, but not at this point. Okay. All right. Thank you all for all your input. I got a couple other topics. We got 134 people in the building. If y'all hit the like button again, we will be back tomorrow. He is arguably the greatest rebounder in NBA. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. Pound for pound, most definitely. But I wouldn't have him in the top 5. If you're talking about Robin, I wouldn't have him in the top 5. And not only was he an incredible rebounder, but his defense was incredible too. It's an absolutely phenomenal defense. That's the thing that people forget about those Lakers teams. Their defense was incredible. It wasn't just Jordan scoring and Pippen scoring. It was that defense. What's up, Derek? No, I'm not sleeping on them. I'm just saying that I know they got Jordan Poole. Yeah, I get it. But I'm telling you that they've aged. They've aged, and it's not just Steph. There's other people there too. Same thing with the splash. What's his other thing? I can't think of his splash brother. I can't remember his name right now. It's weird. He's been injured. He's coming back. His stats look good, but it's not the same. His defense isn't there. But anyway, they will be okay. I just don't think that they're a championship contending team, and I don't think that they're going to be a championship contending team for some time. Okay, I'm sorry, Hassan. Let's move on. Okay, I got a couple other topics I want to get into right quick before I close out. Let's see. I got the greetings. I got Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron. I talked about that. I got my top 25 players of all time. Tomorrow's live stream. We're going to be getting into. There's a video. It's actually, I don't even know if it's still up anymore. There's a video of Umar, and he's at a casino again, and you guys know what he's doing. It's a short video, so it'll be a short live stream. We'll get into it. I'll give my perspective on it. We'll probably go and look at the other video where he was gambling, and then we'll close. It won't be a long show. It won't be. The thing is that Umar hasn't been as that active doing videos like he was, like, let's say, I don't know, before I came back or for my break, or even a little bit after I came back from the break. So we'll be doing, my plan is to only do Umar videos when there's new content that's worthy of even addressing. Okay, so just be clear about that. But we will get back to our regular scheduled programming tomorrow. All right. One other thing I want to get to here. I don't know if last week I was on the Information Man show. I did an interview. If you haven't seen that, it's on the Information Man show. You might want to check it out. Anyone here, if you have any questions? Yeah, Klay Thompson. That's what I meant to say. Klay Thompson. Yeah, I remember the Bad Boys. Yep. Bron, Kareem, MJ, Shaq, TD. Who's TD? Terrell Davis? I don't know. Is my plan 990? What are you talking about? What's up, Black Wolf? Almost done. We're almost done here. The guys who played in the 50s and 70s is those hard soul club. Yeah, I remember. I don't know how that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That was your greatest Lakers. Okay, yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah. I didn't know. I got you. Okay. Let me see. Let me just look. I don't want to see if there's anything else. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he was a great player. AD gets hurt every 82 seconds. I don't like to make jokes about his, because it's really a lot of people they kid around about that, and it's not his fault. It's really not. He's just injury prone. He always has been. I think he always will be, and everyone knows it's going to happen. It's just unfortunate. Okay, how's it going, Nikki? Okay, Kyrie Irving, Powell, Zubac, and Morris aren't playing tonight. Clippers, yeah. Well, they've had struggles anyway. I mean, they take a lot of games off, and it's hard to build a team like that and get them, contending like that. It's very difficult to do that. You got to have consistency. That's nothing about whether you look at the Lakers in the 80s or you look at the Bulls in the 90s. They had consistency. You look at the teams; they'll move a couple of pieces here, but with the Bulls, their core piece was two people, and that was Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. And then they always had someone else who was really good, whether that's Dennis Rodman, Horace Grant. A lot of people sleep on him. And then they have these ancillary pieces. Paxson was one. Hodges was another one. Those are the 3-point shooters. There's another guy too. Steve Kerr was another person. But they had a core in place, and then they just maintained that core and built around it. But if you look at the Lakers, they haven't done that over the last three or 4 years since they won the championship. I mean, you got AD, but he's injured all the time. You got LeBron, but then who's still there from the championship team that was a serious contributor? Ain't no one. Right? Okay, Rod says Luka and Kyrie won't work. Yeah, it's not going to work. It's not, and I don't even think that they're planning for it to work. I really don't. I think it was a move to get Kyrie out of I was going to say Boston, out of where is that? The thing over there, New Jersey. Get him over to the Mavs. It's going to ticket sales, so forth and so on. But I don't think that that's a long-term plan. You can't have two ball dominant players like that, and then there's not much defense being played. Okay, that's not. It's just not going to work. Let me tell you what I think is going to happen. I think Kyrie, he's getting geared up to try to get back to the Lakers. That's what I think. Okay, because he's up for a contract, so he needs to put up as many numbers, he needs to play as many games as he can. But can you imagine if you get Kyrie up over there, and now you got LeBron, you got Anthony Davis, you got Kyrie, and then you got the pieces that they've acquired recently. Now you're talking about a championship team. Okay, I don't know how they worked it out cap wise, and but we'll have to wait and see. That's what I think is probable that's going to happen. Anything else can happen. He may be able to sign somewhere else where he's the main a focal point of a team and make crazy money too. He may do that. All right. Yeah, I used to love Manu Bol. That was one of my favorite players back in the. Thanks, Rod, too, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Tim Duncan. Yep. Okay. Sean Bradley. Stop it. Let's see. Helen, did you know if Umar is still uploading content on his channel? Probably not. Well, he doesn't have a YouTube page. What's up, information, man? I was promoting the interview on here earlier. He doesn't have his own YouTube page. He actually had one for a while, but it was struck down because of his rhetoric. I remember that was a long time ago. So I think mainly he's posting, and I'm saying I think because I really don't, and it's been like this for a while. It's sad to say, but I don't really spend much time, researching or looking into Umar all that much. If a video comes across the desk and it's worth us getting into, we'll get into it. But he's not active on YouTube with his own account, but mainly he's on Instagram, All right. Any questions? any questions? How's it going, Ebony Queen? Thanks for being here. Y'all being mean. Leave. Okay. All right. What did y'all see the game last night? What y'all talking about? Yeah, I know. Okay. Let me just get to the bottom down here because we can close out here. Did Tariq Nasheed slap? Did you Tariq Nasheed slap analysis yet? Oh, did I do you're talking about? I looked into it, and my best guess, because the video was blurry, but my best guess is that no slap was reach contact, if that makes sense. That's what I think. I don't based on what I saw, and I could be wrong because you can't really tell. You really can't tell. But my best guess is that Tariq was upset and he swung with a slap. I don't think it was connection. Okay. It may be connection, but I don't think there was connection. Okay. What do y'all think? If you saw the video, do you think there was connection? I could be wrong. Okay. All right. Yeah. Thanks for the super chat, Rob. Okay, you're saying no. I was talking about his membership channel that people. Oh, I have no idea. I don't even know if he's still doing that or not. I have no idea. Okay. Let's see. Audra says I've missed so many lives. Have just moved back to LA from. Okay, well, welcome back to the States. Yeah, and I was gone for 3 months too. I was on hiatus, but I'm back. Okay, I think that's everything. Any chance you'll re-up videos from 2018 to 2020? The thing is that I still have all my videos. My plan was to put together playlists and then organize things on playlists. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. And the truth is, I haven't been as active on YouTube as I have been in the past. But that was my plan. And I also had a plan to rebrand too my website, or not my website, my YouTube page too. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. The thing is, after I graduated, I don't know what it is. It's just I graduated and it's I thought that I was going to be, but I haven't been that way. It's been really, really weird. So for whatever reason, I'm struggling with graduating. I have to figure it out because I still haven't figured it out. I haven't figured out what that's about. But what I'm getting at is the motivation to do those types of things and reorganize. I just haven't had it. What I have been doing is doing stuff that kind of just brings me peace. Like working on music. It really helps me to stay centered. I'm working on a sci-fi documentary right now. That really helps. Even the editing process is tedious, but going through the editing process, and there's something about that that's really calming. So at some point when I get around to it, I'll get stuff back up and I'll have it organized properly. It's just I really haven't been motivated to do that type of thing lately. Okay. All right. Yeah, Quick Crush Chat is in the building. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate. Yeah, that's something else. Real quick, let me just speak on this. That we're gonna be done. So I don't know. Maybe we should do a sports show. Because I was gonna do a video to talk about Ja Morant and his father, because his father, at the games, he's very much active, and he's been active for a long. You can tell their relationship is really, really beautiful. I mean, it really is a beautiful relationship. And I was thinking about it because you guys remember LeVar Ball? Those are the Ball brothers, his dad, their dad. I remember when he was all in the news, there were people who were complaining about he's too active. And I get that too. Like, he's taking the shine away from his son. And I get that too. But the thing is, I've always felt like they should have given him more credit for being a black man who was that active in his son's lives, to where he was able to get all of them into the NBA. It's not that he got them, but he prepared them. He provided the resources. He provided, I'm sure he coached them. You know, he took them to games, all this type of thing. And I don't think he got the type of credit that he really should have gotten for doing what he did, because that's actually remarkable to get three, and yeah, all three. And I don't know if the oldest one is still in the NBA, but he was in the NBA for a minute. He may still be, but I can't remember. I haven't looked. But I thought about that, and I thought about their relationship. There's other father-son relationships too in the NBA. That's wonderful. LeBron too with his sons. That's a beautiful thing too. So I was going to do a video on Ja Morant because I was thinking about how once LeBron retires, who's going to be the next person who's going to be the face of the NBA? And Ja Morant is really, I think he's well positioned for that. He's very young. His game is incredible already, and he keeps getting better and better. There's other people too. Giannis you can put Giannis there. You could probably put. I know this sounds crazy, but you could put Luka if you wanted to go the route of international. But the thing is that he would have to be the main person on the team, and Kyrie being on the team, that takes away from his production statistically. I don't know if he would quite fit though in terms of the face of the league, but I think he, in terms of production, I think in age, I think he would be a decent possibility or for consideration. There's a couple other people too that you can consider, but the main person is Ja Morant. That's the guy I said out of all the people, when LeBron retires, I can see the NBA passing, because they always pick somebody. Before LeBron, it was Kobe. Before Kobe, it was Jordan. There's also a little bit of a I don't even know what you would call it, a little bit of a crawl space between Jordan and Kobe, where Shaq was kind of the guy, but it wasn't that long. Kobe, then you get before Jordan, you're talking Magic and Bird, because it was more of a tandem type of thing, and then Dr. J too. We can throw him in there. But the point is that once LeBron retires, who's going to be the face of the league? So the reason I'm bringing this up, Dominique, is because we got 200 people. The reason I'm bringing this up is because what's been going on with Ja Morant, it actually compromises his positioning. And I was actually shocked about it. I think I heard about it, but I didn't know it was, all the details. And again, I don't know all the details, because I'm just speaking on what has been coming out recently. There's no way of telling. None of this may be true. Okay. But I wanted to do a video about Ja Morant and his father, but then the following day, that's when that information came out about him having a gun and punching a 17-year-old and all this type of stuff, and flashing a gun at a security guard or something like that. What I would say is he needs to, if this is true, he really needs to check himself and make sure that he's conducting himself in ways that are conducive to continued success, not just in the NBA, but also in life. I've seen a lot of players who do that. They'll get all caught up in all kind of crazy stuff. Aaron Hernandez is a person that just came to mind. I mean, there's a lot of, and it's amazing, because if you think about it, if you spend your whole life working towards something, and now you're making $10 million a year, you're making $20 million, in some cases $30 million. Why would you trick that off by doing things that are just, I just don't get it. Okay. But again, sometimes people get drawn. They got people they still kicking it with, they get drawn back into them streets a little bit, and all that type of thing. That's something that definitely is not in the best interest of Ja Morant and his career. So I'm hoping that this is played out at a certain point, if it is true that he's still allowed to play in the NBA, maybe he'd be suspended for a little while, but he's still being allowed to play at some point, and it's not some extensive suspension. And after that point, I would hope that he would focus on his craft and be as great as he can be on the court, but then also make sure he's protecting himself from doing things off the court that can compromise his position in the NBA. Because I really think that he would be the preeminent, and I could be wrong, but the preeminent candidate for the next face of the NBA. And with that comes a lot. It's not just that the NBA, they'll promote your games more, but endorsement wise, it just blows up. You really blow up. Look at Kobe. Look at you can even look at Shaq when he, for just a moment in time. You look at Michael Jordan. You look at Magic Johnson back in the day. Right, same thing applies. Okay, all right. Let me finish this up because I didn't mean to do all this. Do you have do I have any kids? Now we get into the real questions. You asking me if I got kids? Yeah, I got some kids. I got me a whole basketball team. To be real with you, me and my wife, we're the coaches. All right, we got a basketball team. All right. Last call. I didn't even see what he said. What's up, Black Dot? Yeah, but he's an entertainer though too. He really is. You know, he's an entertainer. Okay. What's up, information man? What is coaching? What is that? I really enjoyed the fatherhood videos and relationship unity talk. Yeah, you know, and Zen, I had two people, and then we're gonna be done. I didn't mean for it to be this long. I had two people post messages, and at some point, I'm gonna share that those messages. And I just won't show their names. And one talked about how the Umar Johnson content, that is entertaining, but that there's other things that I could contribute and that I should be contributing based upon wisdom gain. And when I say wisdom gain, there's a lot of failures that I've had in my life, and I can really use those failures to teach some important lessons, especially to young men. I didn't reply, but I liked their comment and I hit the thumb button because I've been thinking that for a long time. I've really been thinking that for a long time. You know, it's just I've had some concerns about because I'm not where I want to be in life at this point. You know, I know I just graduated, but again, I've told people this should have happened 25 years ago. And over the last 2 years, I've done very well. I don't like to talk about numbers or anything like that, but I've done very well. It's just that if I'd been doing that well, let's say 10 years ago, then I would really be in a good position. Yeah, you're right. Fatherhood videos, that would be important, especially at this point, you know, in my development as a father and even as a man. I've come a long way, and I really have come a long way in a relatively short period of time. It's just I wish I had done it sooner. But there's lessons in that too. One of the big lessons is focus on the right things. You know, focus on the right things. And for much of my life, after meeting my wife, I was not focused on the right things. And that was a huge mistake, And if there's one thing that I would impart upon young men is make sure you're focusing on the right things. There's a lot that I can definitely teach based upon my failures and my successes too. I know I tend to talk a lot more about my failures, but I have had some levels of success. But I appreciate that, Zen. I really appreciate that. Okay. Thank you so much. Let me just get to the bottom. Yeah, he is. He bugging out. Up here tripping. Last call, yeah, right on. I appreciate it. What's Key Lagger? What's up? Big Baller Brand. Yep, I remember that. Yeah, but that's the thing though, Vince. He has his father. I don't know. Sometimes, and let's just be real about it. Sometimes it's hard to. Some people may not even be raised in the streets, but they're drawn to that. You know, and there's some people who are raised in the streets and then they can't get away from it. You know what I mean? I don't know which one it is for Ja, but the truth is that his father, and I'm sure his father doesn't talk to him about it already, but maybe he does need a mentor outside of his father to pull his coattail. Maybe someone in the NBA that's older that can talk to him, because you can trick things off, you know, and you figure out that the course of his career, he's probably going to make, he's probably going to be making what, $360,000, $400,000, $500,000. Somewhere around there. That's not, maybe not 500,000. That's LeBron money. But he's still young, so you don't want to trick that off by getting out here and just going wild and doing stuff that's just not necessary. Again, focus on the right things, right? Don't forget. Yeah, you're right. I know. Yeah, that's the other thing. I know. I just, boy, you just checked me right there. It's true. Yeah, AI's mom had a lot, but even LeBron James's mom. Look at that. I don't even think LeBron. Does LeBron know his daddy? I don't think he, because his daddy wasn't around. I don't even know if he knows his daddy. Yeah, that's a good point, Keylogger. And I'm tripping for not even mentioning that, but you're absolutely right about that. And I would propose that a lot of these NBA players, it was their mamas that brought them up. Kevin Durant. Okay, he's talked about that. Shaquille had a daddy too. Let me stop tripping. But he talked about his mom in a very positive way. There's other people too. Okay, thanks for that comment too. That was good. I'm glad you said that. LeVar Ball said to Jason Whitlock, stick. No, LeVar Ball done said some crazy stuff. He was entertaining though. You guys got to give it to him. Even though I think he was overboard, he was. And one time he was in the WWE, WWF, WWE. Y'all seen that? And he get up there, he was wilding out, talking, dropping N-bombs. I said, if you don't stop. yeah, he was very entertaining. He really was. Thanks, Rob, for the super chat. Yeah, Lonzo's injured in this series. He's out for the rest of the season, which is really sad. He's actually been having some injury issues more recently. Steph Curry, yeah, we talked about Steph earlier. Well, the thing is, Steph Curry becoming the face of the league, I think he's too old for that at this point. Because LeBron's going to hold that position for another 2 years at least, I would think. And by that time, Steph, I don't even think Steph is that much younger than. Let me go look right now. I could be wrong. I remember when Steph first came into the league, he had ankle problems and nobody didn't want to deal with him. Yeah, Steph is 34. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to be winning another championship unless they make some serious changes, and they're going to have to let what's his name go. What's his name? Draymond Green. I don't think they're going to want to do that, but if they're going to compete, it's because he eats up too much contract, unless he takes a reduced contract. So Steph is 38, 34. LeBron is 38. By the time LeBron is kind of, you figure another 2 years, Steph is 36. No, he wouldn't fit for the face of the league. I mean, if it fit where, let's say this was, if he's 27, not even 27. Let's say if he's 25, 26, 27. And LeBron's on, and then I can see them elevating Steph Curry to that position. Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate. Yeah, that's the other person. Good point. Jason Tatum. That's the other person that I couldn't think of, but that would be the other guy. I think him and Durant, not Durant, Ja. Those two, I think, preeminently. But Tatum, he's something special. He's. I really like his game. Yeah. Yeah, he will be. Luka could definitely be the face of the NBA in Europe. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. If they want to do the international thing, that he would have a strong appeal. But the other thing is he kind of has a bad attitude. He'd be complaining too much. They don't want all that. Yeah, they're trying to be well, they have a good team though. Okay. Zion just can't. Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate. Okay, I'm almost done. We're at 38 minutes. Come on, let's finish up here. Kobe, Steph Curry. I saw Dr. J playing against the young MJ way back when Oakley was. Yeah, I remember when Oakley was on the Bulls. That's why Oakley's still MJ's homie to this day. And remember, Oakley went over to play for the Knicks, and they were playing against MJ. But Dr. J, I really I think that if let me say something real quick. This is funny. If you guys go and listen to Dr. J talk from back in the day, even these days, when you listen to him talk, and then you listen to Jordan talk, you can see that Jordan listened to him talking. It kind of mimics how he talks. And then go listen to Kobe and how he talks. He talks and he be walking and all. I mean, rest in peace. He used to walk his whole game. Everything was, he just like everything was. And how, if you listen to how he talked and you go listen to Jordan, you hear it. But that's sourced from Dr. J, because Dr. J was the man way back in the day. Okay. Yeah, I remember 97 Pistons too. I was heavy into basketball back. What's up, Ben? Okay, let me get down to the bottom. Okay. Okay, so Umar J. Morrison, Farrell Point. What are you talking about? Your top 5 NBA players of all time. Yeah, I got plenty of them, family. I got George Foreman kids, family. All right. We got 5 kids. We had them pretty much back to back to back. We don't plan on having any more. I wouldn't mind at least trying. You know what I mean? All right. Okay, I'm getting down to the bottom. To be honest, Lynn, I would like to see you and Miss Aida do more videos. Yeah, I know, and she had mentioned that. I think it was today, but the thing is I really try to protect her because I've had a lot of I have to deal with a whole lot since especially once I started doing Umar Johnson videos. So I've tried to. You guys know, so I don't really talk much about family stuff. It's just cybersecurity. The truth is, if I'd known what I'd known, what I know now, listen, I probably would not have even been on the internet going back to like 2006 or 7. But because of my cybersecurity background now with the degree, and then given the types of things that we've had to deal with, and again, a lot of people don't know a lot of the stuff that we've had to deal with. It's just I just really don't feel comfortable because people. I mean, it's been crazy. It really has been. But I can't complain. You know, I made decisions, and it is what it is, and at this point, you know, I got to deal with the cards. But I appreciate that, D. Ree. All right. The young men could use that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've really been thinking about it. Another thing, I had gotten another message from someone because I've talked a lot about my affairs, and I've been really down about that and mistakes that I've made. But they were talking about how you got to look at where you're at right now and look at your progressions, because what really matters is how you've grown. But see, that's the type of lessons I think young men need to hear, because especially young Black men, because we tend to be very critical of ourselves. And I'm my biggest critic. I can't even express you how critical I am of myself. So I think that we have to be careful with that, because we can beat ourselves up to the point where we're no longer motivated to do the things that, you know, enrich our lives. And that's a huge problem. When you lose that motivation, and I've actually lost that motivation several times throughout my life, you know. That's why I think it'd be good at some point just to open up and share more. And I have in the past, but share more about my own personal experiences, because it will give insight to especially younger men to some of the pitfalls. You know, it can be very difficult at times, and then we're not motivated to do what we need to be doing. You know, again, focusing on what the most important thing. Focus on what's important. So thank you for that, House. I appreciate it. Yeah, I do. I have a whole bunch of stuff. Reddy says, Lenon, where is Dr. Watkins? He just has. Stop playing. If you guys don't know, there's someone who comes every once in a while and shows up, and they have the avatar of Dr. Watkins. They claim it's him. It's not him. Okay. And they always say something crazy. All right. All right. Thanks, Reggie, for the super chat. What's up, Barn Keith? Thanks for tuning on in. Lemon, what does that mean? I don't even know what that means. I feel you know you're progressing, but wish you had to. Yeah, and it's not just that I wish I had done it sooner, but I think one of the hard parts, just in life in general, we may think that things are going to turn out a certain type of way, and I always just feel like they never will turn out the way that I had hoped, you know. And my wife, she has a much more positive outlook on that, but I tend to think that way, and it's unfortunate, you know. And I'll put my best foot forward, and then I have an idea about what I would like to see happen, and then it doesn't happen that way. You know, it could be something totally different, and I get disappointed in that type of thing. But again, the whole idea, especially over the last 4 years, is just to get my stuff together. And I can tell you, I've done a really good job in a short period of time. Again, I just wish I'd done it sooner, but I don't have a time machine. Yeah. Thanks, Audra. Thank you. Hello, Corinne. For finishing college. It's 4 years. Yeah, I was in college the second time for 3 years and 3 months. And I actually took an extra class. It was an e-commerce class, and that added that 5 more weeks, because each class was 5 weeks, back to back to back throughout the year, with a 2-week break for Christmas. But anyway, my whole time there was 3 years. It's all online, 3 years and 3 months. But it would have been closer to 3 years if I hadn't taken that class, that extra class, and if I hadn't taken time off for my job, because there are times throughout the year when my schedule gets crazy. I'm working 10, 12 hours. And there's a specific time during the year where we expect that to take place. And when that takes place, especially over the last 2 years, I said, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and take some time off from school. And even if it's 2 weeks, or if it turns out to be a week, then I'm going to do that. Then I get through that, then I'll be back come January to the studies. And I've done that at least twice. Actually, I've done it 3 times, actually. Thank you so much for the congratulations. I'm still waiting on the degree before we close out. We still got 200 people here. I'm still waiting on the degree. It should be shipped this month, and it should get here this month. Okay, I'm just waiting. And when it gets here, I'll be sure to we'll get together and celebrate. Okay, as my wife said, you need to celebrate. You need to celebrate. And again, tomorrow's live stream, we'll get back to the regular scheduled programming. I got a video. Some of you may have seen it. Some of you may have not seen it. But Umar's gambling again. And boy, I don't know what to say. I mean, the video before that, I remember he was talking about how he needs people to donate desks and stuff. Well, if they need to donate, why are you gambling money? You guys know gambling, it's a problem because it's probability, it's statistics, and the probability is that you're not going to come up when you're gambling. It becomes an emotional thing. It becomes the adrenaline rush, and then you win, and then you think, oh wow, I won $50. Yeah, but you just spent $200, and then because you won, you figure let me keep going because if I keep going, I'm gonna keep winning. And then you may win 100, but by that time you already spent 300. See, and then the emotional high, and you keep going, and then it becomes addictive at a certain point. Anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow. I don't want to be going off on that tonight. All right. Okay. Last comments real quick, then we're going to be done. Sometimes you can take a person from the street, but sometimes I agree with that. I mean, I have some of that too in me. I let it out sometimes. I don't mean to, but and I'm not from the street. Let me be clear about that. I'm not. All right. I've been around it though. Trust me. But we all have that, and it's difficult sometimes to keep it in check. It really is. It's very difficult. I've done a pretty good job at doing it, but there are times where I'll slip up. Someone say the wrong thing to me, and I go, huh? And they be shocked. I said, no. All right. Yeah, if y'all can hit the like button, I appreciate it. Oh, Morant, he's already put, 200 million. Yeah, so I figure he's going to be around 400, getting close to 5, especially with inflation, because they're going to go up. At some point, he'll probably commanding a $40 million contract at some point because he's young. Yeah, he needs to keep his mind on the game and on his career. Or maybe Ja always been this guy, but never had the power. And this is a good point too. I don't know. I don't know how he was raised. I don't know what his background is. I just know that his father is very active in his life, and I'm sure his father has pulled his coattail. Okay. Yeah. I know Steph. He's making crazy money. Okay, let me get to the bottom because we done gone 47 minutes. I thought I was gonna be on here for like 15 minutes. Yeah, Steph is 34. Yeah. Yeah, he is. Yeah, LaMelo. Yeah, he's out. He's out for the season. Yes, I think his is knee related, and then his brother's is ankle related. I don't even know if that's true though, Antonio. I don't even want to get into that. Right? Well, why would they let Draymond go? That would break them all the way. Well, the thing, Angela, is that the way I look at Draymond, if you look at him statistically speaking, he's never been a quote unquote offensive player. He give you rebounds, he give you the assists. But the thing is he's a defensive person. But when he was talking about contract negotiations, you guys remember this? I mean, he wanted cash. He wanted the serious money. Well, at his age and with what the team has done, I remember they paid. They gave some Poole to Jordan Poole. They gave a contract extension to him. They gave another one to, I can't remember who it was. The one guy. I think he's injured right now too. He used to play for the Minnesota. But they paid out all this money to these guys. And so Draymond, who's towards the end of his career, how old is Draymond? He's been in the league a long time. He's towards the end of his career. For him to demand, and maybe he won't demand that amount of money, okay, because they're salary cap considerations. He's only 33. I thought he was a lot older than that. I didn't know that. Yeah, he's only 33. I thought he was like 50 or something. No, I'm just playing. I thought he was like 37 or something like that. He's only 33 years old. Okay, well, maybe I should take that back. I don't see his. If you guys go look at his production, it's not what it used to be. It's still, I mean, rebounds and assists. I'm looking right now, last couple of games, but to demand high level, close to max money, I don't think that's it's workable at this point. I really don't. Now maybe he'll take a lot less. Then I can see them keeping him on board. We'd have to wait and see. Okay, I thought he was a lot older, so that's why I'm tripping a little bit. All right, thanks, Angela. Yeah, I know. He was one of my favorite players, defense. All right, let me get out of here. Let's see. I think it'll be Bronny it's possible, but he's a ways away, and I don't think he's going to come into the league just dominating like that. I think it's going to be some time, but they could morph that into him being, the face of the league if he really grows quickly in terms of skill sets. They could do that. People would love that. Why stop at 5? Why? No, I'm good. I'm old too. I'm too old. At this point, I'm old. Dr. J was a prototype. Yeah, he really was. Yeah. Before there was Nick Cannon and Future, Leonard was Golly. You call it the genetic jackhammer, huh? For you guys. You guys are wild. Okay, too wild. Right. Let me get to the bottom. We're gonna be done. Thank y'all so much. We'll be back tomorrow night with the regular programming. Back to back word to Drake. Honor got enough kids to start. Right. No, I don't. We good. We don't need no fifth man. That's for sure. Okay, how's it going, Sabrina? How's it going? I saw you earlier. Shout out to the ladies. I got my Granny Archer running point and then the Zorro chick. All right, go on ahead and shoot your shot. All right. Anybody have any questions? Last questions. We're gonna be out here. Put a question mark on there and we be done. I believe that Draymond had to check him because he was cocky because he was part of the championship team. Are you talking about when he punched Poole? No, I actually think it was very inappropriate and it was wrong. I actually think it also, in my opinion, I think it has had an impact on the team's success in terms of chemistry. You can't punch somebody like that and then expect that as you're playing through the rest of the season, the respect level is going to be there. It don't work like that. It just does not, especially amongst men. You going to punch? So I actually think that was a horrible move on his point. If that's what you're talking about, on his part, if that's what you're talking about, yeah. When I saw that, I was actually shocked. I really was. So unnecessary. How's it going, Princess? I'm struggling with that right now. Yeah, I think that is what it is. But why are you struggling with it? Did you just graduate too? Because it's the unsurety factor, not being sure, and I told myself, I'm giving myself three months to see if a tech position opens up at my current job. And if it doesn't, then I'll look elsewhere. And I've been looking elsewhere anyway, just to get an idea, and I kind of formulated my general resume. But there is part of it is anxiety, just not being sure of what's going to be the next thing. And then there's a part of me that says, well, what if you don't even get into IT? What if it's something totally different? And what if I get into IT, but I should be doing something totally different, but using the IT degree as leverage? So that's what I mean. All of these types of thoughts, it brings up anxiety. Okay, I'm going down to the bottom right now. Just looking for any final questions right here. Yeah, gambling is a delusion. Congratulations on getting your degree. Happy to see men accomplishing goals while taking care of family. Salute to you. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, and there were people who said that it was a whole lie. No, it's not. I mean, I worked so hard. I really did. My eyesight went bad. When I first started, and we got to be finished. Goodness, we're gonna go for 8 more minutes. When I first started, I could bring something like right here and I could read it. But from sitting up here at this computer night after night and just work, now I got to go all the way to like right here. And now you see I'm putting my glasses on more. Looking old. Getting and looking old. It's bad when you're getting and looking old at the same time. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you can't do both. Okay, let me see here. I'm just trying to see if there's any. Yeah, Wiggins, that's the person I was saying. Yeah, Draymond, he's an important aspect of the team. He's an important cog, but in terms of him talking about he wants max level type of money or something close to that, I just think that's not realistic. Yeah, that's the guy I was talking about earlier. He's a good player too. They should talk so much trash about that guy, and then he came over here. He went to the I'm gonna say the Bulls with Jordan. He went over there to Golden State and won a championship and was an important piece of the puzzle for them for that. He does the dirt work with little things you need on a basket. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah. I mean, assists, rebounds. He's an energy guy. He's a motivator, and his defense. He's one of the greater defensive player over the last decade or so. They paid Poole, Clay, and and Steph. Draymond better get that pod. Don't say that. Be nice. No, they did. They. That's what I'm saying. They ain't gonna be able to. Their money ain't there. With the salary, can't keep paying Draymond that money. Yeah, I know. I totally agree with that. That's what I was going to be saying. Wiggins was traded. What is? No, he wasn't traded. Was he traded? Oh, you talking about he was traded from what you call it? Yeah. They didn't pick him up as free agent. They traded him over there to, I can't even remember who they traded him for. Over there to from the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right. Yeah, I know. But I thought they gave him the contract after. I could be wrong. Draymond is one of the oldest looking. Stop. Come on, let's be nice. I actually thought he was older. We all know low-key Lenon does like to. No. It's not that I don't like him. It's just they're not my team. Lakers, that's my team. They've been my team for I don't know how long. It's incredible since I was like young, like in high school. All right, I think I'm all good. I don't see another question here. I'm scrolling down to the bottom, and we're gonna be done here. Hey, Lemon, been watching you for years. I would like to know what made you turn away from the shadow government and the New World Order agenda. Do you still believe? I mean, this is a tough question. This is a whole nother series of videos that I really need to do. I was a conspiracy theorist, but I took it to the extreme. There are conspiracies, but I took it to the extreme, and I consumed way too much of that information way too quickly and imbalanced, accumulating this information. And as a consequence, I didn't focus on the right things. Here we go again. I didn't focus on the right things. I talked about this on the Information Man show. It also impacted me emotionally and mentally. I became paranoid. I had serious anxiety issues, worrying about stuff all the time. The Bilderbergs, the FEMA death camps, HARP, all the Illuminati, all this stuff. So this is to say that at this point in my life, it's not something that I consider to even be relevant. Back then, it was relevant because I believed it to such a degree that it became, it actually became, I was consumed by it, but it was unhealthy. And it was in the bigger scheme of things, it was not non-productive. And I always what I would tell people is, if you're going to go down that rabbit hole, don't go too far to where you lose yourself. And I lost myself, and it impacted me for the next decade of my life in a negative way. I mean, I can see it so clearly now in retrospect. So this would be a whole nother topic it should be a series of videos, and I can start with the conspiracy theories, and I don't say this to be arrogant, but there are few people who went deeper into that paradigm than I did. And the reason why I can say this is because I don't see how anyone could have spent any more time than I did during that time. I don't see how it's even possible. And this went on for many years, and it took many years to come up out of that, and then really start to get my life back on track and restructure things. So this ought to say, do I still believe there are conspiracies, but there's also falsehoods, and a lot of the things that I believed were falsehoods. One of the preeminent conspiracy theories, and some of y'all may not even know anything about this, but one of the big conspiracy theories was about the Illuminati, and that the Illuminati was controlling the world, and they were controlling the world, specifically the entertainment industry, using the entertainment industry. That means movies, music videos, anything dealing with entertainment, and that it was all satanic. And then they were mind controlling the population through the public school system. That's another reason why I didn't want my children inside the public schools early on. That was one of the primary conspiracy theories, that they're all pedophiles too, and they're all practice homosexuality and this type of thing. It's one thing to believe in something that's true, but it's another thing to believe in falsehoods, and then it shapes and molds how you perceive the world to where at a certain point you become delusional. And I became delusional, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So unfortunate, it really is, because there's so much that I could have been doing during that time, focusing on the right things that would have been of benefit to my wife and my young children at the time. When I really got into it, I think we had at least one child, and then two came in, and at a certain point, three. And by that time, I was so deep into it that it really had a negative impact on me and my relationships with people in the world, and getting to the point where I didn't even want to engage the world, because I felt like the world was such a horrible place, not a good way of viewing things. And I have a sense too, this will be the last point before we're done here. I have a sense that even these days it still impacts me, because I always think that something, I don't even want to say it this way, but it's true. I always feel like something bad is going to happen. I just got this degree, but even when I started, I'm in college now. Okay, but this is going to happen. I mean, it really has. It messed me up bad. It really did. So this ought to say, the conspiracy theory paradigm. I'm not going to tell people, listen, you shouldn't do that. But my best advice to anyone is, if you're going to go into it, don't go too deep to where you get lost in it. And not only did I get lost in it, I mean, I can't even tell you. It's over the top, way over the top. All right. Thank you for that question. Let me just see any other last question. We're gonna be done. I think we should be done here. Well, how's it going, Bridget? We just chit chatting for a bit. We're gonna be back tomorrow. We're gonna get back into the regular scheduled programming. How's it going, East B? I am working on a sci-fi documentary right now, focusing on Star Wars. Yeah, you have a good weekend too. Let me see here. Draymond at this point, when his disadvantages have surpassed his advantages, he's just, yeah. Well, the thing is that him punching Poole, that for me, that was like, you really can't come back from that. Am I planning on interviewing? Umar wouldn't take an interview. I mean, I would if he ever wanted to, I would do it, and he would. I mean, I would be cordial, and I would ask him specific questions. He'd probably talk in circles and that type of thing. I actually feel I've been feeling bad for him more recently. I really have been, because I wish he would just focus on things that really matter, and all this other stuff. I mean, nothing's coming out of it, and nothing really. It's not none of it. But it's never too late to get your life back on track, and that's what I've been doing. He can do it too. I mean, we all can do it. We all can. Have you seen Zeitgeist? Yeah, probably about 400 times. I mean, there ain't nothing you can tell me that I'll be like, oh, I ain't seen that, or I ain't read that. Okay. I've seen Zach. They had a part 2 to that too. I don't know if y'all remember. Since you're a Lakers fan, Lenon, I used to see Eddie Jones play in college. Yeah, absolutely. He's one of my favorite players. But then Kobe came and they had to push him out the door. But he was one of my favorite players on the Lakers. Yeah, he was. Yeah, Eddie Jones. Yeah, I thought he wore I can't remember what number he wore, but really he was, when Kobe came onto the scene, Kobe basically took his spot, and they shipped him off. I can't remember where they sent him to. Poor guy. Man, he was one of my favorite players. I used to love that guy. All right. You have a whole political party that promotes conspiracy theories. Yeah, but and the thing is, it reminds me of Alex Jones. Like, I was into him deep for a while too. That really messed me up. But a lot of that conspiracy theory propaganda, at least during that time, a lot of it teetered on the edge of even white supremacist talk. That's another thing that I noticed. And actually, it wasn't as clear until later, because even Alex Jones, at first, he actually morphed. And I've actually seen people who used to be like all conspiracy theory stuff, but then their rhetoric started to talk about like white nationalism and that type of thing. In that space, the conspiracy theory paradigm was mainly dominated by white men, so it's interesting, even that aspect of it, that's not something that it really is spoken about, but you're absolutely right about that. Yeah. I mean, if you go down, just don't lose yourself. I lost myself. Okay. Let me just real quick, just looking for any last questions. See, I feel the same way. Whenever something positive happens for me, I always feel something bad would happen to balance that out. It's a paranoia of mine. Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. It's unfortunate because my wife, she's a complete opposite. She's a very positive person. She really is. Like, I've really been blessed in those regards. I had a friend that was like, and we ain't cool anymore because they don't come out. Yeah, I know. I lost friendships, and it's sad. And I think about it, was just, boy, it's just such a waste. And I thought I knew everything too. I was like, yeah, I know everything. No, I didn't know nothing. Just lost. Spent so much of that time just lost. And in the next 10 years, it impacted me in such a profound way. So unfortunate. Okay. Have you watched Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix, episode 2, featuring my hometown UFO sightings? I'll never forget it. I haven't seen it on Netflix, but I used to be into the UFO stuff and the Palladiums and the what's the other one? The reptoids from, I was going to say Madagascar. The reptoids from Orion. I was into all of that. There was a show that they used to have people come on called, what was that show called? I always reference it. Well, more recently I've been referencing it. Project Camelot. And they had a lot of people coming on talking about UFOs. There was this one guy that used to talk about it. Lear, his last name was Lear or something like that. But there was another older guy that used to talk about it. And then there was this one guy who used to take pictures and act like these were spaceships or whatever, like saucers. And people were like, is this real? I got into all that stuff. It's such a shame. Now, I'll tell y'all, in terms of extraterrestrial life, I do believe there is other life forms out there in the universe. I just don't think that they're humanoid like we would perceive here on the planet, meaning you know, 2 arms and 2 legs. But a lot of that propaganda was like, yeah, they have 2 arms and 2 legs. Well, that doesn't even make sense. The complexities of the universe and diversity of the universe in and of itself is so massive. The universe, come on, all right? Why would we think that somehow people all throughout this universe, wherever life may exist, no, where life exists, because it has to be. There's no way that life doesn't exist somewhere. Okay, even if it's an amoeba somewhere. You see my point? There's no way that somehow it's going to be reflective of how we have evolved here as human beings. That don't even make any sense. But this ought to say that there was a convergence between the UFO phenomenon and the extraterrestrial phenomenon for obvious reasons. And I got into all that information too. I got into all that, you know. Yeah. Okay, we're going to do that. Okay, Lisa, we're going to do that. And we may even come back tomorrow before the live stream dealing with Umar. We'll get together and do a Mr. Balin, Mr. Ballin. Yeah, and thanks for being here too, Lisa. Yeah, Eddie Jones was one of my favorite basketball players during that time period. Because they had, I remember when he first came on board, they had him, Nick Van Exel, Eldon Campbell. There was another guy, I can't think of his name. Eddie Jones. But that's when I was college the first time. I used to watch me some Laker games back then. I used to love watching me some Lakers. Okay, let me get up out of here. Yeah, I know Brandon Ingram. That's the other thing I think about. Like all the players that the Lakers traded in order to get LeBron, it was very costly. It's not just Ingram. What's the guy over there in New York? He's been balling this year. Last year he had an off year, but they traded away so many different people to get LeBron. But it panned out good. They got a championship. Yeah, I listen, but the thing is that for me, it was about trying to prove something to be true. It wasn't about finding the truth. You know, that's the thing. That's the whole issue with the conspiracy. We got to do, if you guys want to hit the one, at some point we can actually get into it. Okay, like really get into it. But the thing is, hit the one. I'm serious if y'all are interested. The thing is that it's one thing to look for the truth. It's another thing to try to prove something that is true. And because I was consuming all this information, they talk about how, you know, music is satanic and, reptilian shapeshifters and martial law, all that. So I'm in this process of trying to prove that this stuff is true because I believed it. Okay. And again, belief, that's not the truth per se. Okay. But because I believed it, I was trying to make it make sense, you know, trying to make it true. That's not the proper way to go about things, you know. So this to say that there are stuff. There's videos that I produced that you can tell that things. It's just me stretching things. A lot of it also had to do with my fears, my own personal fears. You know, I had all of this anxiety and all these fears and paranoia, and so a lot of that work was reflective of that. You know, my fears of this happening or that happening. Well, if you go look at some of those videos, it was exactly what I was talking about. You know, and I felt like, okay, if I do this. I can actually help other people so that they won't fall victim to this Illuminati plot or whatever. But it was over the top, you know, and it was delusional too, because it wasn't an accurate representation of reality. Anytime you're looking to prove something to be true, and the evidence isn't there, but you're still trying to prove it to be true. Okay, now we're getting into delusion, and there were times where I just had gotten so far away, you know, from reality. And it wasn't just in terms of those videos, it was also in terms of my personal life, you know, how, especially not so much with, you know, my immediate family, my wife and at the time, my 2 kids, but I'm talking about the larger society. It really had a very negative impact on me. Yeah, if you guys are interested, if you guys want to, we can do a whole series of shows and talk about this, you know, and if you guys have experiences, yeah, that was a guy. Yep. How do you know that? If you guys have experience with what I'm talking about, and you guys, we can chit chat and we can chop it up. Yeah, I remember the show V. Yeah, I remember that show. Yep. Yeah, see, yeah, I remember that one too. Yep. Yep. What's up, information man? Yeah, Kyle Kuzma, that's another piece they gave up. He turned out to be a fantastic. Yeah, Randall. Yep. I mean, that's serious right there. Think about that. If you had those 3 guys on any team right now, okay, you got a core right there. Okay, you might need some. You would probably need, you know, some point guard and shooting guard. Probably a shooting guard that can really shoot threes really good. But that as a core, that's a solid core to have. They gave these guys up for LeBron. It worked out, you know. But the point is that that's a heavy price. It really is. Kuzma he's really blossomed. Randall, come on now, and Ingram. I think out of all of them, Ingram was the most talented. You know, I was actually sad to see him go because he actually reminded me of somebody from a long time ago. I can tell you be smoking a lot of weed. I could just tell. I could just, you know what I'm saying? You guys know what I mean? All right. Check out Neil deGrasse theory on extraterrestrial intelligence versus DNA. I haven't heard anything about that. But see, the difference is back then, though, what I was looking into extraterrestrials, it was more conspiracy based. Like they had these plans for humanity and blah, blah. And some of it was that they were going to be helping us to reach the fifth, sixth dimension, that kind of stuff. Well, anyway. All right, thank you all so much for tuning on in. Okay, if you guys are interested, we'll figure. I just got to figure out when we're gonna do it because I'm gonna have to sit down and have me some tea, and we can get into it because the rabbit hole goes so very, very deep, and it's something I'm not proud about at all. One last thing I'm gonna say, and we're gonna be done. When I look back on my life, if there was outside of my childhood, if there was one thing that got me off track the most and had the biggest impact on me over the last 15 years, it's getting into the conspiracy theory paradigm and just going too deep into it. Okay, that says a lot. It really does. All right. No, I understand. Listen, that's okay. That's okay. Listen, I get it. I'm just saying that it's one thing to believe, it's another thing to get so consumed where you're trying to prove something to be true. And that's where I was at, and that it's totally unhealthy. It was totally unhealthy. Okay. I went down the rabbit hole back in 2007, 2008. I was a big fan of your videos back then too. Yeah, 2007. I think I actually first started back in 2006. Yeah, I think it was in 2006 where I first got introduced to David Icke, and it just took me out. It really did, and it put me on a path to, boy, I tell you, some people it's like they get on crack. Some people they just get on that alcohol or crystal meth. Well, I got on conspiracy theories. All right, okay. Yep, I remember all those too. Inside Job, all that stuff. Okay, thank y'all so much for tuning on in. I appreciate it. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. And if you guys like me coming on here every once in a while, because I got a little more time on my hands, coming on here on every once in a while, we can just chop it up on different topics. Let me know inside the chat room, or if you want to, you can post down below in the comments for this video. And because I got some time, I don't mind hanging out with y'all for a little bit. Okay, thank you all so much for tuning on. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. We will be back tomorrow to get back to the regularly scheduled programming, and I may even schedule a Mr. Ballin episode in advance of that, and we can do that. It'd probably be like 30 minutes. Then we get 30 minutes break before the next show starts. Okay, love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll talk to y'all soon. All right, peace.